This video will be on sanity uh, during your prepper survival situation. If you watched any prepper show, there are certain things that people bring along. Every prepper, every survivalist will bring along to keep themselves sane, such as a harmonica, playing cards, things like that. But more importantly, and yes, those things will keep you sane. More importantly, though, I'd like to talk about the small things, like soap. Chuck it. Just throw it away. In a survival situation, smelly soaps like that one are going to affect your hunting ability, and they're going to affect your concealment ability because they smell. If I haven't taken a shower for 3 weeks, nobody around me for some reason hasn't taken a shower. We've just kind of cleaned ourselves off in the evenings with water or what have you. And somebody's walking upwind of us or downwind, whatever, whichever way you smell people from. I'm going to smell that. And I'm going to smell it from a good distance because I haven't smelt it in a long time. If I don't have soap, and somebody has perfume, soap, something like that, I'm going to smell it from a good distance away. So leave it at home. Your medications. Make sure that you have some of your medications set aside for emergency situations. And I'm not saying, take it daily when you're in a survival situation. Take it only when you need it. Don't let things get out of hand before you decide to take it, but use it sparingly because it may not exist anymore. Another thing I will talk about, and this was made for me by my mother, is your children. If your children like the teddy bear, take the freaking teddy bear, because it'll keep them quiet, it'll keep them occupied, it'll keep them out of your hair if you need to. There's, as far as keeping your children quiet, there's nothing that you shouldn't carry. If they, I'm not saying carry the whole toy box, but if that particular teddy bear is going to keep that child from crying, it's a comfort toy, then take the teddy bear. Let's see. Candy is another thing I always keep on my shelves because it can help you in many aspects. One, it can give you a sugar rush. That's plain and simple. Two, it can be used to trap things. There are certain things that like sugar. You put a little sugary Hershey Kiss on a branch that has a nut in it or something like that, you might end up catching a squirrel. It can be used for that. It can be used for trading. But most importantly, the reason I keep candy is because if you were to run across somebody that you wanted to trade with, or just somebody who happened to be around your area and you didn't want to have a callous reaction to them. Everybody says, well, don't take candy from strangers, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, whatever. But if you meet up with a family or another group that has a bunch of children and you have a bag of candy and you just give the candy to them and say, there you go, here's some candy for your children. It builds trust. It builds, it reinforces your relationship with that person. They do it in the military. They carry little bags of candy and money around to make sure that they are liked by the people. Same instance with your bug out bag. I'm not saying necessarily carry chocolate, but just, butterscotches, peppermints, things like that. Simple things. Always carry extra socks, extra underwear if you can, uh, your thermal undergarments and things like that. Anything clothing wise that you might need. A lot of people, I see their bug out bags, they have no extra clothing in it. To me, that's a bad decision because you might need to change. You get wet, your socks get wet, whatever the case may be. The only thing I don't carry in mine is an extra pair of boots, um, just because they're heavy, and they take up a lot of room. I do carry a pair of tennis shoes, uh, as opposed to my boots, but I don't carry an extra pair of boots. Uh, Another thing to always take is any fire implements, of course, but if you come across any kind of container, uh, you know, this is a canteen. Everybody should have at least one of these. Not because you can't have your Camelback or whatever, but just because this is small. It's not a backpack. It's easy to carry around. You can clip it to your belt. It's small and lightweight. If you're just walking around the campsite or whatever, good thing to have. Um, of course, your Camelbacks and things like that are great to have. I don't carry shaving implements. I don't carry a lot of different hygiene things. You can use ashes from your fire to deodorize places and it actually, if it's white ash or gray ash, it has to be fine ash, just so you know. Don't go rubbing the black charcoal in your pits and stuff like that. I mean, it will deodorize, but don't leave it there. You know, but for the most part, that'll get rid of any odor that you have and clean you up pretty good. And there's also plants like yucca and things like that that you can mix the ash with to make almost a soap, and it won't make you smell bad. Another thing, some kind of little cooking stove. This is a solo stove. They're all right. Some people carry bigger, some people carry not at all. I like it. It works. Keeps things up off the ground, keeps bugs from getting into it. But yeah, I mean, carry what makes you comfortable in any case. You don't want to carry a bunch of needless things necessarily, but if it makes or breaks your comfort level or your child's comfort level, like I said, don't grab the PlayStation, but if it's a teddy bear, a comfort item, a blanket, something like that they always have with them, take it with you. It will pay off.